It's story time.
Hello and welcome back to the Storytime podcast, and this week I have with me Neil Houlihan.
How are you doing?
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm a little bit hanging this morning, but I'll be okay.
Neil is a friend of mine, and do you want to tell everyone where to find you on the internet?
Yeah, you can find me.
If you want them to follow you on the internet, that is.
You can find me at Your Holiness on Twitter and on Instagram.
Your hooliness.
Yeah, as in Your Holiness.
Very clever. I'll put all the links down in the description in YouTube and on SoundCloud. They'll be in the show notes. But you were going to tell us some of your travel stories.
Yeah, I have the honour of working for a large multinational company. I get to travel around and the world, and I have come across some shit in my time. I got myself into some scrapes, and so maybe I'll knock out some of those stories, see what you think of them.
Yeah, go on. Hit me with the first one.
Okay, so the first one, I was actually I wrote out a list the other day, so I was talking to Ronan, like I'm Ronan, and so I was coming for these lists, and he came across this one. He goes, "Yeah, just kick off with this one." So it was like maybe 5 years ago. I was in San Francisco. Okay. So it was like it was around September, because I remember the NFL had just kicked off the season, the college football was on, and the America's Cup was on, the sailing.
I don't know about it, but okay, I believe it.
It's a big sailing competition in San Francisco. So you know, all these it's big in New Zealand, so you got people in from New Zealand, a lot of kind of British people and stuff like that. And I had got a hotel which was on the whatever it's called, main road around San Francisco. So one Saturday I'm watching kind of some college football or whatever, and just having a beer or whatever. It was a down day, and I got talking to this guy from Singapore. Yeah, nice guy, about my age. He was. He told me he was just in for the America's Cup. It was like the final week or something like that. So we got the chatting anyway. Kind of watched a bit of the football was on, and next thing, this really big burly guy kind of came over, and he was knocking into us, and kind of pushing down. He was pretty pissed, and he was a French guy. And he's like getting real handsy, and kind of just, I was like, oh man, just leave us alone. So he's out for about an hour. He just wanted to talk, and he was just real kind of in our face. So I was like, look, I have to leave. But I was getting on with this guy, this dude he's a New Zealand guy, but he was over from Singapore. So he goes, I'll tell you what, go to a party later. Gives me the address, and written on the thing was like Pier 39, and he goes, meet me down at Pier 39 at like 9 o'clock. So I was like, okay, I'll do that. So I head off, have some dinner, whatever, head down to Pier 39 that night, and the guy is there, and he kind of goes, oh, we go in. So it was like this huge warehouse, and in it they built this like pop-up bar, and it was called the Waiheke Island Yacht Club.
Wow. And
like the bar had like had maybe 2 walls on it, and there was like a kitchen and a bar area, but it was inside this huge fucking I suppose warehouse. So I kind of walk in, and we're having a few beers, and everyone there, like there's people there that are kind of like it was kind of exclusive pop-up restaurant. It probably was the kind of place that I shouldn't have been.
I was thinking it sounds real invite only.
Yeah, it was real. I ended up talking to, like, at the time it was like maybe the Minister for Foreign Affairs from New Zealand was standing there, and all this kind of shit was going on. So we're having these beers, it's like champagne, there's like beers, there's like all these kind of hors d'oeuvres, and we're kind of chomping away, and I've decided I'm just going to act rich and important here, because I'm going to fit in, right? I can tell anyone that I'm just overworking for my company. So we're chatting away. So it gets towards the end of the night, and everyone's kind of peeling away. And this small dude comes up to me, and he just stands in front of me, and he just doesn't talk. And I was like, are you alright? And he just goes, say it again. And I was like, are you alright? And he just really started getting really aggressive. So the guy who invited me comes over, and he goes, what's going on? I was like, I don't know. This little New Zealand guy, and he was getting on my face, and he's going, come on. He started, like, I don't know what he was on, like he was definitely pissed, I don't know what else he was on, and he was building himself up, and next thing, out of nowhere, over my left shoulder comes this fist, and punches the guy, and just knocks him out on the ground. I'm like, oh shit, it's going to kick off, and I turn around, and there's this big French guy from the fucking hotel really tried to fucking shake off, and he just kind of goes, no one touches my friends, and then just walked off into the darkness, into the fucking this bar, and I looked at the guy who was here, I think his name was Steve, and I was like, I think I'm off.
I think that's me done for the night.
So yeah, this guy, I don't know how he'd obviously followed us or whatever else, and he was hiding somewhere. Like, I hadn't seen him the whole night, and he just punched this guy out just because he was annoying. So I had become his friend.
Oh my god.
So that's like my trip to San Francisco. But it's you kind of, when you're traveling with work, I like to put like a fair bit of kind of research into when I get to work, because I got to travel a lot on my own as well, right? So you kind of, there's so much work you can do, and I kind of get down days. I try to kind of spend the best I can, and I try to get in with kind of local people like that, or just meet someone at a bar or a restaurant, and I'll just talk to anybody and try and get me into stuff. I think about 3 years ago I was down in Brazil. I got traveled to Brazil to work as well, and we had a team I was working with down there, and maybe it was my first visit. And the guys had said to me, you know, they're all big into their soccer. Right? It's just a city called Porto Alegre. I'd never heard of it before. It's got 4 million people. It's ridiculous. It's got more people in this country.
I've also never heard of it before.
I never heard of it before I went there. So all the guys were there. They supported the local football team, which is called Grêmio. And they were saying, us and Grêmio are playing in the Copa Libertadores, so their version of the Champions League. They're like, do you want to come to the game? So this is in the office, like a Wednesday. So I was like, oh, Champions League game. And I just had in my head, like, you know, what that would entail here in Europe. So I was like, no, I won't. And later on the day I said to one of the guys, like, how much is the ticket? And the ticket was like, it's like 16 euros. I was like, oh fuck yeah, come on, I'll do that, right? So I had to leave the office, go back to my hotel, which is like downtown. There's one street in this city, because the city is it was a dangerous enough city, right? So whenever I had to travel anywhere, there was like a security company that kind of picked us up and dropped us off to the office and back to the hotel. Okay, yeah. And there's one street you were allowed to walk down, which is right in front of the hotel. That's where all the restaurants were. That's where all the rich people hung out, and everything after that was like, you know, it's a pretty rough place. So I get back to the hotel, and it really starts to rain. It's like one of those real tropical kind of, it's coming down like I've never seen it rain before, but it was still like 23, 24 degrees or whatever. So I ran to the security company. I said, look, I'm going out tonight, come down and pick me up. So the guy arrives, so I said, look, I'm going to Stadio Grêmio, por favor, whatever. And your man's like, no. And I was like, yeah, come on, I'm going to the football game. And he's a bit like, and he's looking at the concierge at the hotel, and I was like, no, I'm meeting people there. And he's like, oh, you sure? And I was like, yeah, I'm like, of the people I work with, I'm already this is already, probably should have been a red flag, right? But I was like, okay, let's go.
When you had to like lie to the security man, no, it's fine, I can go.
So I get into the car with the guy, and he doesn't speak any English, I don't speak any Portuguese, so we just start driving. So we drive out of the city, and it's just raining so heavy, and as we go further and further away from the hotel, it gets shittier and shittier and shittier, and you're going out like this highway, and at one stage I passed this, what was like a factory, like completely on fire. Like it was just, the flames were just, it was like Grenfell Tower type stuff. The flames were flying up, but didn't seem to be any like fire brigades out of that around.
It was just burning away.
And I was like looking at this going past, the driver never even turned his fucking head. I was like, oh, okay, maybe this is not so unusual. So we continue driving, and then we kind of come off the highway, and next thing it just starts getting almost like a little bit more industrial, a little bit more run down. Then there's like people living in like under pieces of timber. Then we're in like the favelas, so just kids wandering around looking at us, and we're kind of have to kind of creep down through these little streets. And I'm like, holy shit, where is this place? And I think out of nowhere, this stadium, it'd be like the size of the Aviva Stadium, brand new, right in the middle of all these favelas that are all around. So I'm like, holy shit.
What's a favela, sorry?
Like the slums.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So and so I'm like, the guy wouldn't let me out of the car. He said, no, you can't get out of your car, your friends have to come to you. So I sent the guys a text. So the guys turned up, there was like 6 of them from the office, and they were like big fans, you know, whatever. So I got there at about 7 o'clock, because I get there for 7, game's at 7:45, so we might have like a beer beforehand, get the game, get home. So we arrive anyway, the guys are kind of going, right, let's go for a beer. And I'm just looking around and go, why the fuck do you go for, like, there's nothing. There's this shiny new stadium, and then it's just slums. So the guy's like, oh yeah, we'll go for a beer. So we walk into the favela, down this like little street, and like it's all like, there's just people everywhere, everyone is chanting, everyone is singing, there's fireworks going off, it's pissing rain. So we all go and we stand in like a circle, and one of the guys, he just walks off. So we're standing there, it's like whatever. So he comes back with like 6 little plastic cups and 2 cans of this beer, this like Skull, this local fucking beer, like it's like the shit beer. And I was like, okay. And he filled up with the 2 cans, he fills up everyone's cup, bar one person, and then that person left. Because it was so hot and it was pissing rain, they just keep a constant flow of the beer. So one person goes to the bar to buy these cans. Well, I didn't know where they were getting them from, so he'd just disappear. So we'd drink away, and then he'd come back with another can, and one of the other guys
And
would go.
whoever didn't have one would go with their turn.
The next person, and it was all divided up. So eventually got to it, I said to the guys, like, can I go get this beer? I want to see where you're getting it from. And the guys like, oh yeah, fucking fine, let's see, can you go? So it was like literally down this little street into this guy's like front, I suppose, like his front, you can really call it a room because there's no front of the house, and he's just there with a big fridge of beer and just like thousands of people, and he's just like selling like one can at a time, just out to the thing. And we'd come back and the guy's like, you fill your can, you throw the can on the ground, and there's all these kids like scraping around like picking up the cans because they were collecting it for recycling money.
Oh my
and it was
God.
just but I mean, like the filth and the like poverty, like you would never see. Like, I mean, I know people talk about like poverty here and like, you know, and stuff like that, but like just like not ever seen. So I said to the guys, like, just guess about 7:30. I was kind of going, oh, so like we want to be kicking on to the game, and the guys going, oh no, like this is South America, the game's at 10. Like 10 p.m. I was like, what the fuck? They're like, yeah, it's too hot, you can't play in this weather. So I was like, holy shit. So it's pissing rain, we're drinking these cans of shit beer in the favelas, people fucking running around everywhere, and next thing, like, the police arrive, and like just like everyone seems to be singing this one chant song. There'd be like 3 people beside me, maybe a guy hanging on a fence, maybe 25 people over there, like crowds of people walking past, and everyone is just, and it builds up into this crescendo, which is kind of like, I think the last few words are like International Vitamanicu, which is the team from the opposite side of the city. I think it means like International Go Fuck Yourselves. But it's just on a constant loop for like 2.5 hours. And I was like, so we're getting close to the game. I was like, holy shit. And next thing, en masse, everyone just moved. And we just went to the stadium, and the stadium had this huge ramp, so we were on the upper deck, and just like hundreds of us, just all, and everyone's kind of bouncing along and singing this song, and all I can see in front of us was these soldiers with guns, and everyone got patted down. But it was just, I didn't even remember how they fucking worked out that we had tickets, because everyone just kind of went bouncing up, and then in through these security cordons, everyone got like patted down, and out the other side, and we continued up this huge ramp, and then into the stadium, and then the game lasted for 2 hours, and they never stopped singing. The songs were pumped through constantly. The one like 3-0 or something like that, and then all the way back out again. And I was like, I got one of the guys dropped me back to my hotel afterwards, and it was just the maddest fucking thing.
That actually, like the I don't know, was it scary? Because the way you painted like sounds really cool. Like, I'm like, God, I actually think I would like love to do that. It was really cool because I was there with the guys. I could see how it would be a bit, if you were on your own.
I mean, the most off-putting thing was just the poverty. Like, especially when I was leaving, it stopped raining, and we had to, where one of the guys was parked, I had to walk down like through some streets, and you just see the conditions, like some kids were sleeping in, or like just like people under fucking like basically people living in trash. And so the guys are telling me like the favela was huge. Like, you'd have like some of the favelas in Brazil, like the one in Sao Paulo, where there's like, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of people living in it. But the thing about it is, and they did it for the Olympic Games, and they did it for the World Cup, and they did it in Porto Alegre. They'll just go down to these areas and just level it and build a stadium, and they don't give, like, these people are like at the very bottom of society, just clean them all out, fuck them, don't care, and then just build these. Like, this stadium was so shiny and so new, right beside, I mean, there was a street, and then the favela just started, and it just went off into the distance. I couldn't see the end of it. Yeah,
I once had to travel to Ethiopia for work, and because I was working as a journalist, the way it worked was they'd like drive you through all the slums to like a really fancy restaurant where they'd wine you and dine you because you were reviewing their hotel, and then, or like well, wasn't it you were reviewing their hotel, I guess, but it was like the whole overall trip kind of thing. So they'd wine you and dine you, and then you'd be staying in a nice hotel, but like, yeah, you'd walk outside the door and it would be like 2 different worlds. It was really disconcerting. Like, it was really like, and I remember one point we were in a fancy restaurant, but it was like up in the air, and like you're looking out down at like just like slums everywhere, and you're going, this
literally in your ivory tower.
Awful. Like, I hate this. Like, it was really weird.
Like, I mean, it was weird going to work in the morning because when you drive down the road, there's people like asleep on the side of the street. But where our hotel was, it was like, I think it was like a Sheraton or one of those type of hotels. Like, all the wealthy people hung out there. There's a restaurant there, and there's like a street straight down where all these bars were, was like, there was an Irish pub on the fucking street, and like an English pub, and then the restaurants. But when you go out at night, didn't matter what night of the week it was, you go across for a beer, like we book whatever, and it was like a block, and all around people would just drive around in a circle until they got a parking space outside one of the bars. But like everyone was driving like Range Rovers and Ferraris and Porsches, so there's this huge queue of these cars. You're sitting there going, what the fuck's going on? And then you step out and you look right, and you can see like down the bottom of the hill there's a park, and like all these people were just sleeping in the park. But like all these rich people like lived here. Like I presume they dispersed out to wherever the fuck the suburbs were, where all the wealthy people lived. But yeah, they come in and they just hang out in this one street. Like you went to the bars and everyone was beautiful and everyone was like rich and like, you know, all that kind of stuff. It's just really, yeah, it was a weird kind of experience.
Real
like see the
separation.
Yeah, it was just, and it didn't seem to be a whole lot in between. Like the guys I worked with, like were fine. They were normal guys. But I was like, I often talk to them about it, kind of going, how do you actually balance this kind of shit? Now, funny enough, a lot of the guys I worked with down there have all left to come to Europe to work because it was just like, there's only so much that you could do. You get yourself, if you get yourself educated, you got managed to speak English, you try to get the fuck out of there as quick as possible. Seems to be the
MO. Yeah,
the MO of people. So
I really want to go to South America. It's one of the places on my list I really want to see.
Yeah, I always thought if I went to South America I'd go to like Rio.
Yeah.
Copacabana or something like that.
Yeah.
And like that's, I remember reading that because that's what they did for the World Cup. Is really like around the Copacabana, like for 1 square kilometre was where the tourists were allowed to hang out, and like everybody was literally fucked out of that area, and it was all painted and it made Brazil look amazing. But it's tough. Like it's a tough country. It's a tough kind of place to grow up or whatever. I think Forbes did like the world's most dangerous cities recently. It's like a top 30 most dangerous cities, and 14 of them are in Brazil.
Oh Jesus!
And 22 of them are in South America.
Oh wow!
Yeah. Like there's a lot of poverty, a lot of crime, a lot of corruption. So it's a bit weird. But yeah, that's sucked the life right out of the story.
Well, I know that, like, since I've known you, you've travelled to Australia a couple of times, and you broke a foot
1 year.
time
I know, according to Facebook last Monday.
Well, 1 year we're Facebook friends. Like I probably knew you for a day before.
Yeah, okay. Let's give it a year and a week now. Yes, I have just. I got to spend some time in Sydney this year, and which is pretty cool. There are worse places to have to go to work. When I was down there was an incident, and there's been a lot of lies spread around how this incident happened. So now is my chance.
Okay.
This is the Neil Houlihan version of how I broke my foot in Australia.
Okay, right, okay. So you're going to put to rest all the rumours?
All the rumours, yeah. A lot of people kind of go, oh, I fell off a bar stool, or I fell off the end of a pier while drinking, all this kind of stuff. It's all not true. I arrived in... It was kind of a pisser because I was down there for 6 weeks in total, and on my 4th day, so I arrived, and of course with the jet lag and all that, I was up at 5 o'clock in the morning every morning. So I was there, like, you know, for people who don't know, myself and Claire played a lot of tag rugby together.
Yeah.
So at the time, the regionals were on. So actually, I was down for 3 weeks. I was home for a week, and in that week, the regionals were being played, and then I was going back. So I was like, the first 3 weeks, I'm gonna be really good. I'm gonna look after myself. I'm gonna use jet lag positively. So I was getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, go for a gym, or go to the gym, because the gym, we were staying in this apartment block. Go to the gym or go for a swim. So I was going down onto, like, we lived just off Manly Beach. So I was going for a swim in the morning. So Saturday morning I went, Sunday morning perfect, Monday morning did the gym, went to work. Tuesday, because it happened on Wednesday, so the Tuesday the same, and I was like feeling really good, all positive. That's actually what I was doing. So the Tuesday night we went out for dinner, had a couple of beers or whatever, so woke up the Wednesday morning. I was like, oh no, gotta do the gym, right, because this is my first time after having a few beers the night before, and I want to keep myself right. So I get down at 7 o'clock in the morning, I go down to the gym, and it had, like, it was small, right, so it had like a few weight machines, a few free weights, it had like a bike, a rowing machine, and a cross trainer. Are they called cross trainers, the one with the steps?
Yeah, I think so. Your arms are going and your legs are going, I think so, yeah.
So I was kind of going there, I was feeling a bit ropey, and I'd actually never been on a cross trainer before. I was just looking at it, kind of going, fuck it, I'm going to give this thing a go, right? So And
That worked out well.
there was no one there. There was like, it was like one of those places where you like it opened at 7 a.m. and you just kind of went in and you just did your own thing, right? So I get up on the cross trainer and I kind of moving. I kind of got, it was a bit arsey trying to get it to fucking move or whatever, but there was like weights on the back of it, so once it got moving, it stayed moving. So I was like, okay, grand, and my arms were kind of, it just was a bit awkward for me, so I was like, oh fuck, but then it started to speed up, and I was like, how the fuck do you slow this down? And then I got a cramp in my, just above my Achilles, in my calf. I was like, oh fuck, and I just wasn't thinking, and I lifted my foot off the pedal. And because my left foot was still on its pedal and the weights were moving, the whole thing swung around and it caught the back of my heel. And it was like a support column, a steel column. And it drove my foot into this steel column. And it was like if you got, sorry for people who are queasy, it's like if you got like a packet of crisps and went, that was the sound it made. And I just jumped off it. And my initial thought was, fuck! And for 6 weeks I had so much planned and I had so much shit planned, so I hit the floor. I was the only one in the gym and I was just like panicking. I was like, I can't believe this after happening. And I was like,
was it like agony right there at that minute?
Like instant agony and then just panic. So but there was no one there, so, and whatever way, I had my phone went one way, I went the other way, so I dragged myself across the floor, stood up on the weight benches and like drank some water, and I was like, what the fuck am I going to do now? So I texted my boss and I just said, I'm in the gym, I think I broke my foot. And then I just left it at that. And I just sat there, so I put the towel over my head and like I just looked across and I was like, my headphones were there, my fucking bottle of water was there, my runner and sock were over there, and I was just sitting there. I was just like, this is pain. So I just put the towel over my head, said nothing. And next thing, this dude comes in and he gets up on the treadmill and he's kind of just jogging away, and he's kind of looking at me kind of going, what the fuck is going on with this dude? And he just kind of stops and takes his earphones out and he's like, are you okay? So I explained to him what was after happening. He's like, oh, for fuck's sake. Then my boss arrives, he got his text message, he arrived and he's like, oh, I'll go get some ice. So he goes down to the front desk and like everyone who worked in the fucking place just turned up, and all the lawyers would say as well. They're just kind of going, oh shit. I just remember the woman saying like something really weird. She just kind of goes, oh, okay, we need to get him to the hospital. I'll go to Lost and Found and see if we have a wheelchair. And I just started laughing. I was like, who the fuck leaves the wheelchair? I was like, would you not have noticed that? So she hooked up.
That's really funny.
I think she just wanted an excuse to ring her lawyer. So she left and she came back and they eventually got me into a car and up to the local hospital. And I just like, but it was just this constant thing in my head. So I had, because we were working on this project, I took the rest of that day off and then I had to go back to work the next day. And so that was fine. I mean, I couldn't do anything, so I could move from the car to my apartment to the office. I couldn't even go for a fucking walk. Go for dinner was like a pain in the ass. So it's like the 3 weeks end, I have to fly back to Dublin. So I said to actually when I was in the hospital, I was talking to the doctor and I was like, I just taking the piss, right? So we fly everywhere economy class. So I just said to him, was kind of going, probably need to keep this foot elevated, you know, going home in 3 weeks. And he just kind of goes, so he comes back with this fucking letter. So I was like, oh grand. So I had to say to my boss, I was like, oh, you know, medical emergency and all the rest of it. So I got to fly business class from Australia back to Ireland. So that was great. So I got to fly, and it was Emirates, right? So it was Emirates should pay me for this, right? Do I guess we get cash off Emirates for this? It was amazing, right? So I fly back business class. I'm only home I flew home for a wedding and what was originally going to be the trials, the regionals, so I couldn't do that. And then I had to fly back down. So I got the upgrade for both because they were so close together. So on the way back down, I fly Dublin to Dubai business class again, and then we're flying on to Sydney. And next thing, name comes over the PA, is like, oh, can Little Lan please come to the boarding gate, up to the boarding gate, and I got upgraded to first class. So as I'm thinking about these fucking ads, these first class ads like Jennifer Aniston kind of thing, it doesn't look like that at all. Like, I mean, it's completely and utterly over the top and absolutely unnecessary. But I made the most of it. But I did that thing where I was kind of going, I didn't want people to know that I shouldn't have been there kind of thing. So
trying to act.
Yeah, I go, cool. So I'm brought to my seats as one of those ones with the doors.
Nice.
And you know, I was kind of, yeah, so it's kind of, and she goes, oh, and you know, and I was like, of course I know. And then I spent like an hour trying to work all this shit. It was like the fridge was like inside like this cabinet. You had to push a button and it all came up, and there was like shit everywhere. But she gave me this bag. So she gave me pajamas in this like bag, but the bag was like completely oversized. It was fucking huge. It was like a Tesco shopping bag, like one of those new ones. Yep. And I was kind of going, that's a bit much for the silk pajamas. But I thought nothing of it, and I didn't wear the pajamas. Like the whole thing's like, because I went to bed, like it was basically a cinema screen. It was actually a bit ridiculous. The best part of it was I got to have a shower. So they had like a full bathroom. I had a shower, the whole lot. I drank just whiskey all the time. So it's like I was living the absolute dream. So I met one of the guys when I was down there who had flown. He had got a business class flight. We had to fly like late notice or whatever. So I was kind of going, and he'd been upgraded on his flight, and he'd got first class. And so I rang and was kind of going, not going to believe this, I got the first class. And he goes, did she give you the bag? And I was like, yeah, what the fuck is all that about? And she goes, what did she say to you? Or what did you say to her when she said, have you been there before? I was like, of course I've been here before. And he just goes, I fucking robbed everything. The bag is to steal all the stuff from first class. Because it's all like different like bouquets of flowers, like little baskets of fucking fruit, and like there's a little shelf that comes out, and it's got like, it's a letter writing kit. I'm like, who the fuck writes a letter on an airplane? Like, who are you writing to?
That's true.
But he's just like, oh no, you take it all. He goes, did you keep the pajamas? And I was like, no, I didn't keep the pajamas because they're amazing. He's like, I sleep in them every night. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. Because, you know, if you didn't try to fucking play it so cool, it would have been, it would have been awesome. So
she actually said to him, she was like, you can take stuff.
Oh yeah, she's like, dump all the shit into the fucking bag. That's what it's for. Like everybody, like I don't think anyone actually.
They obviously refresh loads of stuff though.
Yeah, well, I'd say people just steal it anyway. So you're flying first class, you might have, instead of filling your pockets, I suppose. But I actually left. Not only did I not steal everything, I left my charger for my phone and my sunglasses and something else on the flight. That's the power of whiskey. But yeah, no, it was really weird. But I mean, I can't imagine people actually pay like it's like $20,000 or whatever to fly.
Yeah, it is actually.
And I'm kind of going, I think, because when I was actually called up, there was 6 people called up, and I was kind of going, but I suppose they were moving people all around the plane, but I was kind of going, who pays? Maybe they do. Because like business class was amazing, but first class was just that bit over the top. Like
ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know. I think if I had the money, I'd probably just spend it on something else.
Yeah, I think like, you know the way they say rich people stay rich by not spending their money? That seems the opposite.
See, yeah, well, probably. Yeah, well,
I paid 20,000 when I could only pay 1,500 fly economy.
Although I haven't been to Dubai and seen the ridiculousness of like their airport where they're selling diamonds in the middle of the fucking concourse, like it's
Well,
like
yeah.
it's some sort of class or whatever, and you're kind of going, maybe people do fly to Dubai, and then kind of go, actually, I must get myself one of those first class flights back. I don't know. That's what the drug dealers spend the money on. They got to spend on something.
I don't think there's any drug dealers on first class.
Yeah, they're all private jet people, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Have you any more stories from your travels around the world? Where have you been? Sydney, San Fran, Brazil.
I've been to the States, into Brazil, I've been all around Europe, been to Australia. I had the funniest one actually. It was the first trip I got to do with a company. We were setting up an operation here in Dublin, and we were buying another company as part of it.
Yeah.
And the other company was based down in like Blackrock or Dunleary or somewhere. So the weekend that we actually bought this other company, like all the information, all the files, everything had to be transferred over to like electronic transfer. So everyone who's working in the company had like, you know, all their individual actions to do that weekend, but the bosses were worried, oh shit, suppose something happens with the transfer, we got to get someone to go and pick them up, like physically pick up like all the drives and stuff like that. So I didn't really have I was working on a different kind of project. So they three, like our head of finance, the head man over it all, and the head of IT called me into a room, and they're kind of going, look, I know it's short notice, but if anything happens this weekend, we need someone to go and pick up the files. And I'm like, I don't do that. I'm like, oh, are you sure? Like, do you need to, like, oh, I was like, no, guys, like, I knew we were going live this weekend, like, this is, but they started kind of going on about it, and I was like, guys, I tried to fucking Dunleary, like, am I the only person that's fucking petrol around here or whatever? And then one of them said something that kind of it really should have been a fucking red flag to me, but I kind of completely missed. And I went back to my desk, and the girl I was working with seems like, what was all that about? And I was like, oh, they said like if the files don't transfer the weekend, like I'll try down to fucking Blackrock and pick them up. Like, it was a bit of a drama way to ask me, whatever. Next thing, the boss's PA comes over, and she kind of goes, do you have your passport on you? And I was like, has Dunleary moved like since last time? The following morning I was on a flight to New York because that's where the headquarters were. I had to go to the so 12 hours later I had to go, so I left the office, went to the fucking airport to get a flight to like New York, to go out into the middle of fucking, I don't know, New Jersey somewhere, to pick up these fucking files. I thought I was just taking a little stroll, like a fucking 10 kilometre fucking drive into Dublin City, and I ended up the other side of the fucking world. But yeah, I was like, but that's why they were so shocked. I was like, oh yeah, fuck it, yeah, fine, yeah, whatever. Yeah, I don't need to tell anyone or get organised. I'll just, I'll do that. Yeah, so I'm not big in asking questions. I'm more of a rap, snap decision type person.
You disagree.
Yeah, it's like, fuck it, I just want to impress people or whatever. Just kind of go, look at my availability. Look what I do for the company.
And did you have your daughter at that point?
I didn't at the start. No, so she's a little over 3 now. So,
yeah, so you didn't. At least you didn't have to find a babysitter.
Yeah, no, I didn't find a babysitter for that one.
I suddenly have to fly to New York.
But it was, it did seem a bit ridiculous. But it was kind of like, you kind of, ring my mum, kind of going, oh, I just have to nip off to New York in the morning. I've made it.
I'd say all your friends like, what an asshole.
Yeah, what an absolute dick. Just kind of, just drop, casually drop. Won't make tag this evening in New York.
That'd be the best excuse you could ever give. You text me, I'm not going to make Saturday tag. I just have just chilling in the Big Apple or whatever. So like it's not too bad. Like I mean, you kind of after a while with travel work, like it becomes living out of hotels, right? Yeah.
So there's a certain amount of like when I first started traveling. Like I've traveled with all the companies I've kind of worked for, but it could be anything from like fucking Derry, Belfast to fucking Sydney. But after a while it all just starts to blend in. Like you kind of miss shit at home. You live in hotels, you eat shit food, you drink too much beer, you fucking watch too much fucking TV, and it just goes a bit of a pain in the ass after a while. But like, I mean, it's kind of cool to kind of get out and see the world on the company dollar, right? I mean, like, I
really like it when it's like sort of few and far between. But if it becomes too regular, then I'm like, oh, I just want to be at home.
Yeah. Sometimes you just want to fucking flake in your couch. But it's fucking, I'm not going to fucking moan about it. I mean,
we were trying to organise for Fac's YouTube channel. We were trying to organise a trip, and just the organisation involved when you have a number of people.
Oh yeah, because you travel a bit. Like you were in Amsterdam last year, and
I've gone a bit on my own back for YouTube stuff. So I went to Amsterdam on my own back. I did go to San Francisco with YouTube before, and it was absolutely brilliant.
It's pretty class. I
really like San Francisco.
Like it's really weird. Like it's like a different world the way the companies are set up over there.
Yeah, it was absolutely brilliant. They're also like, it was because it's California, like, hey man.
But everything being free in the office and all that. Yeah. See, like I work for like a big company, like a more established company, but a lot of these new companies like YouTube or like the guys I was going over there to visit, like everything was like free, like all your coffee or your drinks, your sweets everywhere, like food everywhere. And I actually did pass a comment, and they were just saying like the competition is so. Like in those kind of
that they win
companies,
you with the perks.
Yeah, they're just like it's got to be all about the fucking perks, so you just go mad out of boredom.
And Google in particular are really good for that. Like there was like vending machines, but like free. Yeah, loads.
So when I walk in off the street, these places, you kind of go, it's like fucking walking into like Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. It's like, oh my god, I would work here for a week and I'd have diabetes. I just like need to control myself.
When I was in San Francisco with YouTube, actually, we were over there for a conference, and then. The Contributor Summit, and then we were like staying. YouTube had paid for like the hotel and the our food and all that stuff. So they provided the food in the hotel. But so for the first 3 days, I didn't have to spend a cent of my own money, and then I had warned my bank that I was there.
You had to warn your bank that your money's gonna go.
Yeah, but I'd warned them I was going to San Francisco.
You just waved at your bank. Is that what you just did?
But then. So I had 2 days left, so I left the hotel that YouTube, because I stayed an extra night, and a half a day. But I left the hotel that YouTube were paying for to go back to my own. I had booked into a hostel for the night. I had to pay for it because I'm cheap. and I arrived and I got food or something. I paid for something with my card. And then I got to the hostel and tried to pay for the hostel and my card wouldn't work. Yeah. And then so I was ringing them and I eventually got through to them and he was like, oh, I'm sorry. And I was like, I warned you I'd be in San Francisco. And he was like, yes, sorry, I don't know how that happened. It's unblocked there again. And I was like, perfect. I was like, tomorrow morning I am going out to buy lots of stuff. Because I had an order from himself, like going to American Eagle, buy me this and this. And I was like, I'm going to be spending about 400 quid tomorrow, like between what I'm getting, what the money he's giving me to get stuff. So I was like, and I actually listed all the shops I had that I was going to go to. I was like, so tomorrow morning I'm going to get up, then I'm going to go to American Eagle, I'm going to spend this much money, then I'm going to go to this place. And I was like, so do not block my card again, okay? And he was like, yeah, no, absolutely, I have it noted on your account that you are in San Francisco, it is you using your card and you're on a big shopping spree tomorrow, so it is you. And I was like, great. So I got up the next morning and I went to American Eagle and some other shop afterwards, and I spent whatever money I was spending, and then I was like, oh, I'm done now, back to the hostel, pick up my bags, went to go out the front door, got as far as where the train thingamajig was, and I tried to buy a ticket to go to the fucking airport, and like, because he had specifically said to me he wouldn't cancel it again, I didn't think to get cash out. And
bollocks.
I was like, oh fuck. And I had no way to get to the airport, and like the other guys had all gone because I had stayed an extra day, and like I was like, oh my god, I'm lost in San Francisco, I can't get to the airport, I have no money, and my only card is not working.
How'd you get it?
But I eventually got, so I like sat outside a Starbucks to use their Wi-Fi so I could try and get in touch with.
So you immediately descended into crime.
My bank.
Immediately sent your little cash like a minute later.
And I eventually got through to my, what was it, AIB, to my bank anyway. And then when I eventually got through to them, he was like, there's something wrong with your card. And I was like, no, there isn't, you keep blocking it. So apologies about that, the camera died. Because it was like, I've had enough of this story. So I'll finish my story and then we'll finish up. Where was I?
You were stealing Wi-Fi from
so he was like, your man on the phone was like, yeah, I don't know what's wrong with it. And I was like, you keep blocking it. And he was like, oh no, it's not us. It was. And he was like, I tell you what, I've lifted the block on it for cashback. For the swipe, he was like, there must be something wrong with your chip. And I was like, okay. So he's like, it's only going to work for swipe cashback, so go in and get cashback. But America doesn't do cashback.
Yeah, it's not a thing. So
I was in there, which I didn't know, and I was in there going, can I get cashback? And they were like, what? Well, what's that? I was like where I buy something and you give me money back. And they were like, what? It's a very weird thing to explain to people who've never heard of it. Like,
it is, yeah.
I was like, well, so
I buy something and you give me cash.
and then I say how much cash I want and you give it back to me. She's like
money laundering. They're like, fuck it, what the fuck?
She's like, no, don't do that. So what actually ended up happening was there was a woman and I started crying in front of her in the shop, was bawling my eyes out crying, and eventually she was like, okay, I'll tell you what, I'll let you buy, like, here, buy this bottle of fake tan and I'll just refund you in cash. So I had to buy it with the swipe thing, and then she refunded me in cash, and then that got me to the airport and got me home then.
And that was part of your like total mistrust of banks.
Yeah, I changed bank after that. Don't talk to me about how much I hate banks. Thank you so much for coming on my podcast, Neil.
Thank you for having me.
Remind everyone where to find you on the internet, please.
You can find me on Twitter or Instagram at Your Hooliness.
And the links will be down in the description. Check out our Patreon, check out us on YouTube and Soundcloud, and yeah, see you next week.
Thank you very much.